protectmyregion.com. We are here today on episode 2 of the North American Weed Tour podcast, featuring a very special guest. We have 2 special guests here. We've got Haiti and his wonderful daughter. Appreciate you being on the episode today, my man. How are things?
Man, thank you. I'm doing well, man. As you can see, I'm on daddy doing. My daughter, she's a little bit under the weather. Her immune system is kind of low, so daddy duty it is. But
daddy duty calls, man. You gotta be Superman, one of the hardest workers.
Yeah, so we making it happen.
I appreciate you being on both of y'all being with us today, man. It's an honor. This is actually historic. This is a first that we've ever had someone not 21 plus on our podcast. So big shout out, Leslie. She's gonna go down in our history right here today. Man, today I want to talk to you a little bit about kind of your background, who you are, what you've been up to. For those of you that don't know, Haiti, you and I met. We met at South by Southwest. Man. We met on the grind. We met doing icebreakers in the middle of some classroom looking place.
Yep. Just in the middle of a classroom.
Just being honest with,
Just being honest, just having an icebreaker. People was just like, hey, introduce yourself. What do you do? Who are you? And why are you here? And literally off that, just great chemistry, connected. And like, hey, it's been, I think I reached out to you like, hey, man, it's been a few years since we met, but I just want to connect with you about everything. Like, hey, I just, respect everything that you're doing. And I'm grateful that I stayed in contact with you, man.
Me too, grateful. Bro. I can't tell you how many people we reached out to at South by, no responses. You following up with us. I'm a flaky motherfucker because of how busy we are. I got all this publication shit going on. Like, I appreciate you, bro. Now, this episode isn't about me today. It's about you because you're one of our media partners. You're one of our sponsors for the North American Weed Tour. You are the owner, the founder, the CEO, and all the other abbreviations for OMS Organics, a rolling paper company.
Yes.
Could you talk to me a little about how this came about, dude?
Okay, so the way it came about, it started off because I am a music producer. So it started off as just a product line of merchandise for like my recent mixtape. And, just working with artists in Chicago, Illinois, I was just like, okay, I need to figure out a way to distinguish myself from other brands and other artists, because a lot of artists, when they did their merch, it would usually be mostly T-shirts. Some people, just for their merchandise, they had T-shirts. Other people had flash drives. One of my friends, he had lighters. And it started off with me having lighters at first, but I knew my friend, he had lighters and he had a bigger name than me. So I'm like, okay, well, how can I distinguish my brand from someone else? And I'm like, at the same time, how can I and myself put more of who I am out there to the world that's unique? And I thought rolling papers. So back in 2019, I partnered with a nonprofit social initiative called Farm Club. We partnered, and they were, we partnered, and for our first batch, we partnered with them to highlight social equity with farmers, specifically farmers of color, and also small farms and small landowners. So we connected with them. It made a lot of buzz in the city. After we parted ways, I didn't realize how much value it was, because people were hitting me up like, yo, you got some more of those papers? Do you got anything else?
You built a name for yourself. People expected that from you. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, just because my daughter is coughing, she's under the weather. No children are being harmed or around any cannabis during this time.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, just to clarify, I'm in LA. Haiti, where you at?
Chicago.
We're not in the same room. We're all safe. I know people kind of get a little crazy in terms of kids being around weed and stuff. So we being respectful, of course. Come on, y'all.
Yeah. So it started off building a name for myself. People started hitting me up, which something that just became a line of merch. Started to evolve into a side hustle, and then develop into a legit business. So from there, I did a lot of work. I'm talking, Joey, from doing SWOT analysis to doing different marketing strategies from professional photo shoots,
Yeah.
ad campaigns, even down to a theme song for the Rolling Papers. So yeah, man, it's been putting a lot of footwork into this, and I'm just happy to be here right now today.
That's a lot of legwork, man, to get something created. Like you said, the campaigns, even just the strategy. What does it look
Yeah,
like? What boxes you want to use? My question
man.
to you is, and I think a lot of people have this question when it comes to papers. How do you go about sourcing papers? What do you, like? Do you go to? Is it France? Is it Sweden? Is it Asia and rice papers? I don't know. Like everything comes from
It is
China, is what they say. I don't know where anything is. How does this work?
okay. It is outsourced in China, but the goal is in the future is to source everything in house. So it's outsourced in China, but like the end goal is to source here. I've been doing research on just like hemp mills and doing stuff that specializes in hemp, particularly making the hemp paper process because that's the process itself. So I've been specializing in it. It's gonna take a little budget to get to that point, but I'm eager that we'll get there real soon. We've been doing pretty fair much. It's been slow and steady. It's been a real slow grind. It's been a real slow grind so far.
Yeah.
So
What?
it's doing good.
So for you guys, then these came from China. Can you walk me through a little bit of that? You just Googled it first. You went on Alibaba, eBay.
Um, I went on Alibaba and then I Googled just different companies. Also, when I did start the page, a few people reached out to me via Instagram.
Just
So
trying to do business with you right away.
exactly. So I was like, okay, well, let me just compare price points as well as I guess how can I explain it? Just how quick, like just a return, just how quick can I get this distributed here? So
Yeah.
it started off with just, analyzing price points and delivery time. So with my current supplier, they had good price points and their turnaround time was maybe less than a month just for a big order. So
Wow.
yeah, literally less than a month, like probably I'll say maybe 3 weeks, but 4 weeks tops, just for like a big order. So they've been very good with me. One thing I love about my supplier, they do not just specialize in papers. They specialize in grinders. They specialize in rolling trays. They have different variety of products.
Here we go.
So it gives me different options to explore on what I want to do. The next step may be rolling trays, because my supplier they specialize in like I said different things, and a lot of their products are plant based. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm very happy that they are plant based. And one other thing about the papers is my supplier who hands assemble them is disabled women. So they have been very just been contributing to disabled people and as well as other people who just have disabilities, providing them jobs and stuff. So it's been
Yeah,
a
they're having
real
they're having real impact on their community.
yeah,
Through a
so
good
that's
back
something that I really loved about that, and we built a relationship. And they're constantly hitting me up like, "Hey, you want some more?" Like I'm like, "Hey, slow down. Let me just take care of this order first, and then I'll get back with you." So
Yeah,
they've been very hands on with me. They've been very just communicating with everything. Like, "Hey, we got this. We got this. What do you want to do?" I'm like,
that's
"All
awesome.
right, yeah." So I love their energy. I love how they love to follow up. So it's real good, man. We're gonna stick to it until I acquire the resources where I want to part ways with them to do for self. But right now we're doing good. We have a great relationship.
That's awesome, man. Fantastic. Now, again, people that are just joining the show, we've got Haiti here from OMS Organics, an organic hemp rolling paper company. I'm using the joint here right now. You guys can see burning nice and even. I've got some really delicious Ember Valley Riff OG grown out of Reading. I've also got some Santa Barbara and Ventura County's finest. This is a company called Rain. This is the honey
Nice.
wine. Look at that honey wine right there, man. We are killing it. You're killing it. I appreciate you being on the show, my man. We got the young queen here on the special guest. You guys.
Man. She's under the weather, but she's a champ, man. I'm grateful, man. She's under the weather.
She don't even realize she got her first podcast right now. She getting SEO by the minute.
She's actually been in a music video already. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. She so my friend Chris Deshawn, he shot a video in which I produced. I produced the track for him. The song is called Super. It made it on the radio here in Chicago. It made it on multiple radio platforms, actually.
Hell yeah.
The video did good. It's actually doing good in Mexico, coincidentally. He has a fan base in Mexico. And my daughter be like, Dad, play Chris Deshawn song. I'm like, okay. And then, I'll play the video. She'll be like, is that me? I'm like, yeah. Like, you were only about 8 months. You probably only 6 months, maybe 4 months old when that came out. So she was like,
that's so funny.
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 months old when the video dropped. And she has been, from there, just been an inspiration to me, man. She's been an inspiration.
Well, kids are such a blessing, it's such a strong lesson. And then also, the ability to kind of level up as a human and really push yourself. I was raised by single parents. And although I don't have any kids myself, I had young single parents, My mom was 17, maybe just barely 18. And my dad was right there around 20 or so or something like that. And so just the amount of struggle that I saw them go through, and they weren't even entrepreneurs the way that we are, they're not making beats. They weren't doing events. They weren't hustling out content or, doing the full on brand, OMS Organics. It's very inspiring. So to anybody again watching this, know that you guys can do this, man. It can be done. You can surround yourself with fire people who push you, hold you accountable. They show you love on podcasts randomly and shit. It's all a real thing. You just gotta stay on it, y'all.
And it's never too late. It's never too late. For entrepreneurs who feel like they are at a race against time, it's never too late. My only advice for entrepreneurs is to strategize.
Yeah, don't run around like a chicken with your head cut off doing every little thing. That's how you spend the wrong time on shit.
I see that a lot with music. A lot of artists, they confuse, as my brother say, do not confuse activity with progress. Just because you're doing or being active does not mean that you are actively making progress.
Facts. Yeah, and also too, to that point, you guys we gotta identify what that even looks like. What do wins really look like? What are more important wins? In the music world, there's a lot of different goals. And I think it's important that you're you look at the next, rappers, it's hard to look at the next 10 years of your life for a lot of these guys, where they come from, for real, right? We hear this a lot in interviews. You just surviving. You just chasing money,
Absolutely.
Trying to stack it. So you can't sit there and look at the next year of your life or the next 5 or 10, but you got to think the people who actually have that bandwidth, who do take a step back and they're still getting the money, they still, getting the women, they still trapping. The people that really look at man, in 5 years, I can still be doing this, but I got to have an end goal. I got to have an end. I got to have an
Absolutely.
Out,
Absolutely.
I really, right now, obviously RIP to Nip.
Yeah.
But Young Dolph, one of the people in the game who, whether he's faking what he's saying or not, the appearance and the perception is that he's still trapping. And that he's on his music shit, right? And it's that whole I was a millionaire before rap. I was rich before rap, right? It's that mindset of yo, if you take the 2 hours today, if you watch this podcast, if you listen to what Haiti and I have to say, if you physically watch us here spending time on the ground as a parent, taking time on a Sunday right now, and you do this over and over and over again, that's
absolutely.
And you're doing the right things. Now we can get into what some of those things are. That's real progress.
One thing you did mention, you said Nip. So one thing I would say what inspired this was Nipsey Hussle. The reason why I say that, I remember one of his last interviews they asked him like, hey, what's your advice for up and coming artists? And Nipsey said one of the most profound things I can ever think of. He said, as an artist, you want to build an enterprise around your music. And he was just saying, like, if you make, so he was like, hey, I own real estate. If, you know, he's like, if I own real estate and I'm making money in real estate, I don't have to treat rap as a meal ticket, because I'm making money in other avenues that's going to fund the music. Therefore, I can treat the music as art. So I don't have to treat music as like, okay, I need to create a single so I can make some money off this and get a royalty check. Well, I'm actually making residual income from this avenue, and I'm making money from this avenue. So now I can take the pressure off making a record that's going to sell and treat my music as art, just purely art. I can focus on it and perfect my craft. So that was kind of the inspiration for this product. It was like, hey, if I do good with this product and be successful and make my connections in those avenues, it's going to pay off in the music. It's going to fund the music, and
which is the goal. That's
exactly
still priority one. It's just not necessarily the thing.
Absolutely.
It's not necessarily the clothing that you're going to wear every day that's going to get you in every door, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that's genius.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you. I give credit to Nip for that.
I do the same thing. Respect my region.
Yeah.
You see joeyjping.com anywhere? No. You see a jping.com anywhere? No. You see anything of that sort? No. So respect my region first, Joey second. But obviously, I'm a business. Obviously, we're we are an entity.
You're a brand ambassador of your own brand.
Always. And so it's only until 2010, maybe 11 at the latest, where my homies were like, J-Ping, Joey, you got to check in. Where are we at right now? J-Ping, check in.
Yeah.
J-Ping, go check in. I can visually, even sitting here right now, I can remember the moments where I was getting told to start building that personal brand. And that's where these artists, these rappers, your rap name, your rap brand, that's not necessarily just who you are. 2 Chainz owns restaurants, right? Mark Wahlberg, who's an actor, I just went to his burger restaurant.
Oh, nice. Nice.
People, you guys got to understand that you guys are a brand, your name, who you are, the way people perceive you online, in the real world, physically in person. It's your opportunity to build your name for yourself. And so to all the rappers, to any music people watching this, to any entrepreneurs out there, you guys, start building your brand of you. Launch a company, even if it's your own record label. Launch a company, even if it's just a consulting company.
Absolutely.
Launch an LLC for your candy. Do something that can make you appear like you're making moves, and walk everywhere with the confidence. Walk everywhere, open every door, take every meeting with the confidence that you're a business owner and you had the balls, or if you're a woman, you had the balls too, whatever, to freaking open it. Because and if you're a guy or if you're a woman and you're like, why does everything have to be about balls and all that stuff? It's like, man, if you had the pair of boobs to go do it, go do it. I don't care. We just want you to be making moves. Make moves. Be confident in yourself.
With boobs.
Be proud. Or don't. There's cancer patients out there. Respect to all the patients out there that have had to lose, breast cancer and things, can still be insensitive. Again, to any human out there, this is about inspiring you to have the confidence to launch your own business, because launching your own company can free your life. It can potentially earn you financial freedom in terms of being able to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, not necessarily have to answer to much people besides the government and the police and things like that.
And if the destination is the same, there is no blueprint to success. Mm-hmm. There is no blueprint. There is no one direction to success. If the end goal is the same, like, hey, I want success, or is the end goal, hey, I want to become a world-renowned person that's being successful and I have a successful brand. If that's the end goal, there's no one route. There's no blueprint. Everyone has a different
What
story.
is success? What does success look like to you, Haiti? When you think about your brand, you think about OMS. Talk to me about some of the things you work towards every day and each month.
Well, at first, before I had my daughter, it was okay. It was like, hey, I just want to leave a legacy. I want to leave an impact on this earth, which is not, it hasn't changed because my impact is my child. So I think that, hey, this is my legacy, is being a father. At first, it was just like, hey, I want to be remembered in time. I want to be remembered in history. So when people open up the history books of what all went down in the history of human civilization, I wanted to have an impact. Once my daughter came, it was like, okay, now it's time to, it kind of matured me, and it told me to, like, yo, all right, you got to put your skills to the test. You got to put up and make it happen, because now you have to, feed, and you have to ensure the survival of someone who depends on you. And so I think as of right now, success for me, outside of generational wealth, I just want my daughter to see her father pursuing his dreams.
Yeah,
that's it. Like my daughter is looking after me. I want her to know, like, hey, do you want to work for yourself, or do you want to work for somebody else? And I want to show her, like, hands-on. I want her to see that directly, like, hey, my dad did not give up. He did not stop. He did everything he said he was going to do. He did not depend on anyone to feed him. He fed himself and fed me. Like, I want her to know that, hey, no matter what, you got to pursue your dreams and continue to go for, and continue to be better. And I guess maybe in a few years, success is different for me. Success will probably look different for me. But as of right now, success in my eyes is where I am right now, being a father, showing my daughter, hey, you can pursue your dreams and don't give up. And, just creating that generational wealth. So when I pass away and transition, she'll be able to take over and utilize the knowledge and the skills that I teach her at such a young age. She'll be able to carry on the legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. Very love it, man. I think that's absolutely huge, to set the example. I think that's something that I kind of have instilled in me, is to set the example. One, I'm the oldest. Back when I was young, oldest child growing up, always expected to do that. So that accountability, and then physically being able to see that example is gonna be great.
So you're the oldest. You're the oldest of how many siblings?
I got one brother, and then I had two stepbrothers, and then now I got she's a blood sister, but she's technically half sister.
Okay. So I'm the youngest of 5. So everyone before me, I've seen their mistakes. I've seen how what success looked like to them. I've seen their bump in the roads. I've learned things from them. So it's been
success comes with bumps. Success comes with growing pains. Success comes with struggles, everybody. It's not all podcasts and free weed, man. It's not all, I mean, I know today you're sitting there and she's sick. It's a blessing to spend time with the daughter at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
you only get so much of it, right? You don't get the time back. You don't get the time back.
Man, you do not get the time back, and absolutely sacrifice, man. I had to sacrifice so much, like taking off of my 9 to 5 to dedicate my time to my daughter and her healing, taking time to like, hey, calling the daycare lady, like, yo, she's not gonna be in today, she's sick, and then calling off at work. Man, people do not see those sides. They only see, they only see the smiles and the giggles, and they only see us taking pictures. They see the celebration of birthdays. They do not see the success or the tribulations and trials that come with being a parent. They do not see how much patience you must have, how much discipline you must have. They do not see that, hey, there may be nights where you have to starve in order to feed your child. There may be nights you might have to sacrifice a meal for yourself so your child can eat. And that's something people do not, at least with millennial parents, we're starting to see that, but people don't talk about that.
100%. And I think that's one of the things out there too, hopefully, and I think we've also been seeing it to some extent as well, but building community help, is just huge. Building relationships, knowing that there's people there to help, and that pride in a lot of ways can also be a poison to some extent. And
Absolutely.
Myself, I'm very confident in a lot of things that I do. People have called me cocky in the past, heard narcissism in the past. You hear it all we hear it all. So I try to just always be mindful and cognizant of doing whatever you can to just put the pride at the door. We all have an ego, so try to do your best to keep your ego in check and just maintain that core discipline that's going to keep us moving forward every day, both as a parent, as a person, with friends, with relationships.
Absolutely.
All those things. I saw what my parents did and struggled. I had a gay parent growing up. Really interesting to have a gay parent growing up and then they're not gay all the time. My mom's not gay right now. It's very interesting. You know what I mean?
That's so good though. That's
like you get all these different perspectives, and it just forces you to be like, there isn't any one way for any one thing. We're all just stumbling. We're all just people, humans going through things, going through life. And as long as you can do things that make you happy, surround yourself with people that are happy, I think that's what life ultimately is about. You're just supposed to just survive through it, figure out how to become the best version of yourself. The reality in our world and today is that money costs shit to survive, right? Like everything costs money. So it's like if you're happy with this person and with these friends and then you're not anymore, switch it up. If you're happy with doing this business and then not this business, you got to switch it up. If you don't want to work for someone, you don't want to do stuff like this anymore, so you got to switch it up. But you got to be honest with yourself. I think that's one of the other key things too. Like I grew up in Indiana and people weren't always honest with themselves. And then I grew up in Texas, it's a similar situation. And then you just see people getting into this like this habit of the rat race. My mom's in here commenting. She says, I didn't know she was watching, but she said,
I see it says LOL.
I didn't know she was watching. But again, being honest myself, like this is part of who I am, growing up in Indiana, Texas, and then Seattle. That's a rock. That's a switch, right?
Oh yeah.
And then now I'm in LA. LA is a crazy place, man. I never thought I'd be doing this. I never thought I'd be on this podcast, on this tour, doing this stuff with you guys, and all the things that we've been through leads us to where we are today, and which is inspiring. If you can look at it that way, everybody, if you can take a step and just realize, man, I'm grateful to be here today. I'm grateful to be who I am today. I may not be the best version of myself, but I have an opportunity this afternoon to do better.
So you grew up in Indiana, man. I didn't know that. That's even better. So are you a Midwesterner, like honorary Midwesterner, or just?
My brother was born in Chicago. My dad worked at United at the maintenance base.
Nice.
And did stuff at the airport there. My mom did stuff out there for me. We were there for some blizzard. I got a very vivid memory in my head of a crazy Chicago blizzard with cars covered and stuff.
Wow.
Indiana. I was in Indiana until 2000.
Okay.
Yeah. And then 2001, I moved to Houston. Mom picked me up from school, man, in like third or fourth grade or something like that. We started driving to Texas, just like that.
Oh, nice, man. That's beautiful.
Wild. It was wild. It was a wild morning.
Man. Speaking of those blizzards, this child was born on the polar vortex when it was -40 in Chicago. It was like -40 degrees in Chicago. She decided to pop out.
That's the day after tomorrow stuff.
Yeah. Like she was born. Yes, it was -40. It was the coldest day of the year. It was a big, huge blizzard. And her mom was like, I gotta go to the hospital. I think it's time. And I'm like, wait, whoa, slow down. It's so from that moment, I knew that my daughter was special and I wanted to do something for her. Now, one thing I do have to watch is with cannabis comes responsibility. There comes responsibility with cannabis. That's a thing that I definitely had to understand. Like cannabis, some people, it's not violent. It doesn't lead to anything. It's not a gateway type of thing. However, you have to have responsibility. Now, I will understand. Like, I grew up. My father would smoke cigarettes all the time, and he would drink alcohol. That never led me to drink. That never led me to drink alcohol, nor did it lead me to try to smoke cigarettes, although I've been around it my entire life.
Yeah. We came from the Dare generation, though.
Yeah, we did.
Dare was big in the Midwest.
Dare was big. You had Truth or Dare. Dare was very big. I dare you. I double dare you. I double dirty dog dare you. Like, there was, you're right about that.
Dare was real big. We had classes and segments of classes dedicated to telling us that smoking. Remember the posters in those classes?
Oh yeah.
Cocaine.
Oh yeah.
Tobacco. It wasn't cannabis. It was marijuana.
The lion name. What was his name? Was it what the hell? Was it Larry the Lion or something like
shit like that?
Yeah.
We gotta find those posters somewhere. That's some shit that needs to be in
I'm
some
thinking
studios.
you talking about Truth or Dare. You actually talking about Dare the Drugs.
The Dare program. Remember those posters that was always in the health class?
Man, hold on. I gotta find his name. His name was Darren the Lion.
Darren
the Lion.
That's funny, dude.
Wow. To resist drugs and violence. Darren the Lion. Dare. Yep. Wow.
They really did that. Dare ran the Dare Lion. Get out.
Jesus. Dare ran the wow. Isn't this crazy? It's the society we're in right now with a lot of drugs being decriminalized. I think we let Darren down. I just think, man, like, wow, Darren the Lion will probably be looking at us like, you guys really decriminalize a lot of stuff.
Darren the Lion is stuffing an OMS rolling paper right now.
He probably is right now.
You know what I'm saying? Here, Darren, if you're watching this, let me give this to you, bro. I got you. Come on, man. That's crazy, man.
Do you think like with stuff like Darren the Lion and other people who were big, do you really believe like some of these politicians who were big and hard on like cannabis and stuff, do you think they did stuff behind closed doors that was like just, I mean, we've heard stories about
one thing that we can guarantee, not do I think, one thing I can guarantee you is that those, and I'll say this too, those white people in power and with money in the last 50 years did every fucking thing they were not supposed to be doing.
Done narcotics.
From kids to investments, to human trafficking, to embezzlements, to stealing, lying, pillaging. We saw people come. They had people were literally locked up like human slave shits in fancy people's houses and shit. So I know for a fact, because I'm not going to be ignorant, that there are numerous evil people out there.
Yes.
That are doing it at all times, and obviously here in America, we know what they typically look like. So I'm not going to be ignorant of that fact.
They say not all heroes wear capes. That's what they say. Well, you'll find a lot of criminals in suits.
Those are what are they called? They're not white collar. They're blue collar, some shit like that.
No, that's white collar crime.
White collar crime. I don't know.
There's actually a Netflix series called Dirty Money that talks about every corporation, big, huge corporation that had their hand in some form of corruption. Like they talked about Wells Fargo and HSBC Bank being like actually being known to launder money into the drug cartels. Like it goes deep, man. You should check it out, man. It's a real.
Damn, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's still on Netflix. It's a Netflix series called Dirty Money. It talks about.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I just haven't watched it. I've seen it.
And you should watch it. It goes from everything from the payday loans, like how the payday loans is scamming people, from Volkswagen biodiesel fuel causing pollution in the air, and lying about it, from HSBC and Wells Fargo having a hand in drug cartel situations. Like, it's real deep. So
that's crazy. We have it is past 1 o'clock. It's 1:05 now.
okay,
Do we want to tell
try to
Brianna to just click the link? We can bring her on live in the middle of this. That's what's cool about
okay.
the nature of these podcasts is this is a live show. If she pops in, I can bring her on as a guest, and she'll pop up right in between us, I believe.
All right, I'll just send her the link. Told her to hop in.
Perfect. Well, let me. I gotta find some more weed. Let me show you some product. How's that sound? Have you been in Cali?
Yeah. Let me see some product.
Let's do some weed. Let's do some weed stuff. So first off, I want to talk about my shirt today. I wore this shirt specifically because my friend designed this artwork. It is ground up weed or shrooms or different kinds of, like, sometimes he does. I think he does extracts here and there too. But he does art by grinding up weed and moving it into shapes. And his name is Cannabiscapes, at Cannabiscapes, like landscapes. And he's the human who did the artwork for Burner on the Big Pescado album when it was the ground up weed and the goat, I believe. And so I met him. We did an interview with him back in the day. So he just started work. He's been working with this group called Fidel's here. They did this product called the Hash Hole. It's a hash joint with a snake hash through it.
You said Cannabiscapes?
Cannabiscapes.
Okay.
Yeah. He does a lot of cool artwork. If you've ever seen the Bob Marley t-shirt, that's like his face, but with weed. It's weed ground up. Like that's yeah, that's this guy. He did the Jay-Z art. He did Snoop Dogg. He gets reposted and supported by everybody, man. He's this guy. He changed his whole life to do this. So I wanted to shout my guy out, Greg. I bought this shirt to support my man. I wore it today to support. So big shout out to my man.
Oh, wow, he did Mike Tyson. That's dope.
Yep. Now I got some other product too. Are you ready for this?
Oh yeah.
So this is the Dave East OG.
Dave East OG.
Yeah, the East OG. I got this yesterday at Steve Liddell's shop in Lemonade, Van Nuys. You know, Steve is the guy who found Nipsey. So super cool to go check that out. 31.87% THC on this East OG. This is some potent shit. I also have the new Travis Scott Cactus Jack.
How's that?
It is I believe it is either outdoor or some greenhouse. It is a $35 eighth. It is a Jack Herrera cut. I don't know if it's an actual real Jack Herrera cut, but it is a Jack. You know, it's a Jack cut. It's
a hybrid from Jack.
Are you familiar with Jack Herrera and what that tastes like?
My brother who lives in Michigan grows weed, and he grew Jack Herrera.
Sweet, sour, citrusy, piney. It's a sativa. Get your heart racing for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I also have today. This is sold out yesterday at Cookie San Bernardino. I've got that rated gas from the CMG, the label group. CMG, the label. Yo Gotti's team. I think Money goes on that and shit. I linked up with CMG Breezy. He's one of the producers on the team, the engineers, and he was out here in LA in San Bernardino. They dropped at the new cookie store in San Bernardino, and that shit was popping. So
that's
super dope. Now, Brianna's in the studio. What's up, Brianna? People can't hear you yet. I'm going to bring you on in one moment. I want to just tell him about this real quick. Cross joint. Look at this.
Wow.
So the product game is going crazy. We're going to bring Brianna in from Swank Publishing, coming in live. Let me click it real quick. Yo, what up?
What's up, y'all?
How you doing?
I realized I scheduled the same thing on the same day. So.
Hey.
I'm on a boat right now.
You on a boat right now? Okay. You want what is that? The Prestige Worldwide, the boat edition.
You know what? Actually, I'm here with a friend who is one of my media friends, and it was kind of an appreciative thing that she wanted to do for us. So she rented a boat and got us catered food and.
Ooh, fancy today. Okay, let's go.
Yes.
Man, I'm coming through. Let me hop on my jet ski real quick. I'll slide over.
Come through.
I mean, it'll take me a couple of days from LA probably.
Meet us in the water.
Man, well, that's all. I really appreciate you being on the show with us today. Everybody, we've got Brianna from Swank Publishing. If you wouldn't mind sharing a tiny bit of info about who you are, what you do, and then I don't know, anything you'd like to share, anything inspiring. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, nah,
I'm stoned right now. I've been smoking. I don't know if you know this how we
I'm
do the
definitely
show.
high. I'm definitely high.
There we go.
I'm definitely high, but they don't like smoking on the boat. But I brought weed anyway, just because you never know.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna be honest. Smoking on boats is a whole different experience, people. If you've never smoked on a boat, you got to live a little. Love it.
I started Swank about 15 years ago now, 2007, I think, or 2006. It's debatable. And started working with just different artists. My first client was actually GLC. He was signed to Kanye. So
wow.
I did music initially, right out the gate. That was like my first big client, and then started just working with a lot of people just from there, just in Chicago. Just different people. I mean, I've worked with any and everybody. Who have I not worked with? I mean, shoot. I worked with this really cool group. They were producers, Christian Rich. I've worked with Mos Def, Raekwon, G Herbo, Rico Reckless, Tank. I mean, I'm trying to get all Twister. I done did like.
Okay, so let's dive in. Let's dive into some of those because some of those names for me, obvious, and a lot of people, legends, right? Yeah. So out of those names that you just dropped, obviously you like all their music, otherwise you wouldn't be working with them. Music is different. Music in business, you only are going to succeed, in my opinion, if you're really authentic in who you're working with, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So out of all those names, I'm not going to ask you who your favorite was with, but what song do you find yourself bumping out of those artists the most often?
I always end up bumping they old shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because the old stuff, or they're like when they first, like a lot of those artists when they first come out, they're in their purest form.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so I love to hear and listen to just how pure it was, and it was so honest. So for me, it's always the initial music. So like I grew up listening to Adrenaline Rush, in my neighborhood. So like I always heard Adrenaline Rush, like no matter what. Like, and then you take me to the Twister that worked with the Neptunes. That's one of my favorite eras of him working. And then of course Kanye. I mean, I love Kanye. So like his beginning, like even the beginning, the first album, like I worked with Kanye in a totally different way than people realize. Like I ran into Kanye when he was on the train in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When he was still a producer trying to push himself as an artist.
Tell him the story, Bree. Tell him the story.
I ran into him on the train, and we were in New York. I was working at Vibe, and he was working at he had just moved there, and he was like, "Man, can you get me in Vibe?" And I'm like, I'm an intern. So he was like, "Well," I said, "What you got going on?" He like, "Man, I just did 4 songs on Blueprint. I got, I'm finna da-da-da-da-da. Jay-Z gonna drop it at Summer Jam." I'm like, okay, I see. So I went to the music editor office. I had to go down there for something. And, he gave me the whole spiel on how he wanted me to, say it to the editor, everything. And then I said it to her, told her what was up. And then she was like, "Yeah, I don't think Kanye's relevant enough."
That's crazy.
And I had his 2-way, so that just let you know how long ago it was. I had his two-way, and I went back and told him, and he was like, "All right, cool." And then that was the last magazine I think he was on the cover of, but that's where I think it take more than a magazine to Kill My Vibe came from.
Damn, man, that is what a crazy story, man. Think about all the different people that ever passed up on a Kanye, a G Herbo, a Twister, right?
My favorite song from G Herbo, I would say, is Everything. And I love the Lil Baby song. Like, that's one of my favorite songs too. Like, but everything for him, like just him, like it's a couple hard songs, but everything always when I hear it, it just sticks out to me, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's so many I could go through with him. But Tink, a lot of her early stuff. No, you good. A lot of her early stuff. A lot of all they early music. Like anybody, like Mos Def was when he was with Black Star. Knowledge of Self was one of my favorite songs. But Brown Skin Lady, like I can go all the way down to the hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, Miss Fat Booty was my favorite Mos Def song. Who's
okay? This is a good question. I'll ask both of this for you guys because you guys are I mean music people to the core. Everybody always asks on the podcast who the favorite rappers are. Who's your top 5? Who's your top 5? Right. So I like to start off with this because you guys have a unique perspective on there's a big local scene in Illinois, Chicago specifically, but Illinois as well, like as a whole. And then obviously the Midwest as a whole too, right? Big music scene. Who is your current top 5 right now? Who do you think is on top in Chicago?
Just Chicago?
Let's do Illinois.
Only Chicago.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. If maybe there's someone else in Illinois I didn't know about, but obviously Chicago's like.
I mean, Chief Keef one of my favorites right now.
Definitely.
He always gonna be one with Dirk.
That's why I wanted to see which one you were gonna pick between Dirk and Keith, to be real.
Shit, and my last one, I don't even know if I got a last one.
Okay, I got Kanye at number 1, just cause it's
I'm
Kanye.
gonna say for my last.
Hey, anytime he drops anything, it's the biggest drop in the world because of who it is. All right, and then obviously Drake is on the same scale, but it's like
Saba is my other top.
Saba. Yep. So I would say Kanye and Keith holds number 1 and 2. Of course, Kanye for how influential he was, and then the impact that Chief Keef had on the game is just phenomenal. Dirk right up under them, and then I'll say G Herbo and Saba. Like
we got the same list.
I mean, it really is. You got Jay-Z in there though.
No, like, he said Chicago, and then I said Saba after.
Okay, well, I'll say, okay, I'll throw Chance the Rapper in there because Chance.
Oh yeah, you can't.
No, you should put Big Benzo or Joy Perp as far as MCs.
Man. So it's tough because Chance's brand is so large.
Is great. His brand is amazing.
His brand is
amazing.
Rapping? Okay, then Dirk might not be in the list if we're just gonna talk about.
No, Dirk done stepped his game up. Like,
but I mean, if we're gonna be honest about MCs though, who people sleep on a lot, Juice WRLD is Juice WRLD. I have not seen nobody freestyle like actually off the head.
You're right.
Like Juice WRLD has outside of Lupe Fiasco. Like I haven't seen.
I don't got no top 5 then. I gotta go 10 then.
Well, if I'm gonna go there, then Lupe is my favorite rapper though, like of all time.
Lupe is definitely one of my favorite on the rapping side too.
Yeah, Lupe is.
I think Big Mensa don't get enough respect on his end for that side.
Agreed. He I mean, he's doing his thing, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to dismiss any of his work. It's just there was a significant less of a rap factor on a couple of his bigger songs or projects.
Absolutely.
And that crossover created disinterest, and that's all that was.
Exactly. Like people like me who know he can really rap. Like if you was an original, like if you've seen his early stages, like he still know how to do it. He just don't. Like he just
or maybe his passion was just making music that was meant to have full bands and stuff behind it. You know what I mean?
He started off in a band called Kids These Days. So
Actually, all the producers that work with Chance and we're all kids of kids. We're part of Kids of Things. Peter Cottontail, Donnie, all of them was actually with Vic before they was with Chance.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So I want to just change directions a tiny bit in terms of PR. Your experience, who you've worked with in the music game, is extremely valuable. A lot of people don't understand what PR really is or how it can be leveraged, what it does. And so, if you could, in a quick, just 2, 3, 5 second thing, what do you describe PR as, and how do you make it work for you and your people?
Well, my job is to get my clients out in the media. Simple as that. I'm really good at pitching, which is more so reaching out to different media outlets to try and get my clients a interview. So I've met a lot of people along the way, including you. Just met different people that I always partner with. One of the things that I value is my relationship with the media. So for me, I'm always trying to figure out different ways to partner with them outside of just asking for an interview. As a result of that, I've met so many people and got so many friends. But it's one of those things where my job is to really just always make sure I have a good relationship with the media, make sure that I push my clients, and really within reason of who they should cover or who they shouldn't cover, or just making sure that the brands align and things like that. But I do a lot of writing. I send out emails. When I'm pitching somebody, I send out about 100 to 200 emails a day.
Wow. Are you using CRMs for that, or is that done one by one?
This is me doing it individually because that's the old school way.
Yep.
That's the only way I know how to do it. And so I spend a lot of time on conference calls and sending tons of emails, but I get better results that way. So I do it the old school way, just because that's just how I do it. Like I've never known no other way to do it.
People would notice. As an editor, I would notice if you switched over to a CRM and you weren't doing that at the beginning.
No, I don't. I don't believe in that shit because I feel like I need to give you my personal.
Yeah.
It's too automated. People see that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't. People respond differently.
Oh, we're losing you a little bit on the audio.
Wait a minute. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, we go. Much better.
Okay, we're going over bridges. That's why I keep going in and out on the line. But
it's all good.
A lot of people just don't understand how genuine it is to directly reach out to somebody. So I pride myself on really building relationships in that regard. But because of that, I'm always busy.
Yeah, emails takes time. I think that's something that people need to understand, right? Is that when you're sending 100 to 120 emails a day for clients, that's hours and hours and hours. That is billed hours of time. You are, as an artist, if I'm a rapper, if I'm a singer, if I'm a DJ, if I'm a producer, if I'm Kanye back then, and I'm just asking you for that thing on Vibe, it's like, man, I would have a better chance giving you, the last $100 of my paycheck, being like, yo, keep mentioning me week after week, man. Keep pushing for me. Right? Like, let me do whatever I can to just keep earning favors to stay top of mind. Let me take you to dinner. Let me buy some weed for you, whatever it is, right? I know that because I do that in my sales job to earn people working with me, right? And it's not that I'm trying to always pushing for money. I'm earning a spot on their MySpace top 8 in their brain.
Yep.
That's really what it is.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is.
I'm trying to earn a relationship into their daily, monthly, and yearly life.
No, for sure.
That's huge. And that takes money. I got to pay someone to help me do that.
Yeah, it does.
At a high level.
It definitely costs.
So let me ask this. Obviously, I don't need any pricing for major publications, like specifically, but if you could, for artists that are out there, what does a typical campaign look like, budget-wise, to be working with some of those major publications?
About $2,000.
Yep. And that is what does some of that look like? What is the most consistent thing maybe that earns an artist?
Consistent press. I mean, it goes from, I start off small and I work the client up to the bigger looks, depending on, there's a whole process in my mind on how I do it. If I take you straight to Sway in the morning, I don't know how good it's going to be, versus if we've been working for the last 3 months, I kind of know what type of artist you are, what to expect. I know your brand by then. And that's the other thing. Like, it takes time to get to know the client. Like, it's not just one of those, hey, it's not a transaction for me. It's, I
100%.
know who you are. I need to know your brand. I need to know what makes sense for you, what's going to get you where you need to be, and what steps and people do I need to talk to. and everybody's different. So it takes months to learn that artist, to learn that brand, to learn whatever you're doing, to understand, okay, now I can take them to this particular look. I had a client, I had a journalist reach out to me, and I was gonna hit them. I asked them to do a feature for an artist for one magazine, and the first thing they said to me was, "I think we should do them for this other magazine because their brand looks better on this end." And I said, "You know what? You're absolutely right." So everybody doesn't fit every magazine, and that's the thing. A lot of artists come in with these expectations that they need to be at all of these certain ones immediately, and it don't work like that. Like
there is
what fits for you.
Absolutely. There is so much strength and power behind what you just said, and specifically for people to realize that being everywhere is expensive. Putting yourself and positioning yourself in certain places is actually cheap gas to create a bomb. You can literally blow up on a more affordable budget by being in the right place at the right time with the right content, right?
Yep.
And that's where it's like, I think you said, if you pitch someone, to anybody watching this, if you hit her up and you just expect, oh man, I'm ready to be on Sway, I'm ready to be on LA Leakers, I'm ready to be on all the biggest of the best. Okay, cool. You probably are if you're probably dope if you really think you are. But marketing wise, it's all about timing. You want to do that at the right time to explode, to maximize that opportunity, because you only get a couple shots like that before it's just like you're washed, Well, got a little bit of technical difficulties. As you guys know, we are going live. Oh, there we go. She's back. I was just explaining to the people. I was like, as you guys know, we're coming in from 2 different locations or 3 different locations right now. We'll get her back in a second. We're coming in from LA. Haiti, are you somewhere in Chicago? Where are you at?
I'm still in Chicago.
Yep. Oh, and Brianna, she's on a boat, traveling the globe.
I'm in Chicago.
I know, I'm just teasing. I said she's on a boat, she's traveling the globe. I was gonna say
a weeks ago though.
Hey, that's so crazy. That's crazy. So I know you're out there and get it. I got one last question for you. But before we let you out of here, if there's any kind of inspiration or game that you can really give to up and coming artists in terms of, what to watch out for, right? There's a lot of publicists, right? There's a lot of publicists that obviously you're at a certain, tier in the game, but you had to rise, right? What are some things these artists should be watching out for?
The main thing I would say is you need to look at your investment versus your return. Mm-hmm. So your ROI is important. For me, like people, I used to get the, oh my God, you're too expensive. And, after a while with my proven track record, people don't mind the process because they know my process works. Yeah. So I would say definitely the process, the process is important. Knowing that the publicist has a process is important. If they don't have no process and they running and gunning, that's a red flag immediately. Okay. Also, understanding like if that publicist does not like your music or your brand, you should not be working with them. I don't care how big the money is or how popular they are. If they don't really like your shit, they're not gonna go hard for your shit. Yeah. They have to be passionate about it. Like, it's important. And I would say other things like just make sure that you are in a space where don't expect to make money immediately working with a publicist, because that's not how it works. Yeah, and the articles don't change. They don't. Yeah. The articles don't blow anybody up in one fell swoop. Exactly. So sometimes, it takes months and months. It's a slow burn, like them OMS papers. Love these OMS papers, by the way. Shout out, hold on, real quick. Let's take a moment to shout out our sponsors today, everybody. This is JP coming at you guys. Respect my region. We got OMS Organics. We got Brianna from Swank Publishing. Sorry, I got cotton mouth from the fire. Killing it. We got the King Cones.
The slow burn.
They are amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
How you like them though?
So I've probably smoked 30 of them. I've done a lot of reviews with them. I was telling him the only thing that I wanted to see on the packaging was to make sure you grind up the weed, right? And I don't think that's
God.
because of this, user error is one of the biggest issues in Capri Suns, in vape carts, in freaking all kinds of shit. Cars, people crash their cars, right? User error.
If you grind that shit fine, you gonna have a nice high.
Yes.
An amazing high.
But if you are just a person who loves to break down your weed, you could potentially still be disappointed in the rolling papers, and it's not because of OMS. It's because that person is picky. So if you have something small on here that says that, right, and it's like, oh damn, there's more information. Oh, thank you for reminding me. You know what I mean? It's just a little extra stoner direct, guide kind of thing.
That slow burn ain't no joke.
It lasts so long, these joints. It's funny because when I do the reviews, I try to keep the videos like 5 minutes or less.
Uh-huh.
And I end up being 6, 7, 8, 9. This burned so long.
Well, I appreciate that, Joey. I really appreciate that.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'll have to buy a box. I don't smoke blunts anymore, right? I told you that at the beginning. Yeah. I quit smoking blunts about a year or so ago. I'll occasionally still smoke a sweet or two when I'm at a mansion or on a boat doing something, right? You got to do it when in Rome. But I really only want to kind of smoke papers. And like even this, I started rolling this up earlier, like, crutch stuff, worst crutch ever style. And then I was like, I got the papers. What am I doing? So yeah, really appreciate you guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really easy to stuff. And then like also too, they people really like the logo. When I brought them out to a couple events with me, and I just pulled them out on the table and stuff and sent them out, people were like, "Oh, what are these? I've never seen them before." And they're like, "That logo's dope." They really relate to the to this, so I love it. But I really appreciate you guys being on with me on the show today.
Simplicity, man. Simplicity.
Man, for real. So the last two things from both you guys. Where can the people find you at? And of course, ladies first.
Swank PR, SWANK PR, and Brianna J or Brianna J on Twitter, Brianna 33 on Instagram, Swank PR everywhere, and on Facebook, Swank Public Relations. I wish I definitely was like, damn, I thought the time was gonna be one, so I'll kind of set it up or whatever. So that's my bad. But
no. You all good. We appreciate you being flexible. We're definitely gonna get both of you guys on towards the end of the campaign here again. North American Weed Tour. We got 80 episodes, so we can definitely revisit this here soon.
For sure.
Haiti, where can people find OMS at?
Okay, they can find OMS on Instagram at OMS Organics. We also have our website, omsorganics.com. You can purchase the King size cones. I will be dropping the discount code soon, so be on the lookout for that. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at Lord Haiti, LORD HAITI. Everywhere I listen. Anybody want to hit me up? I'm very active and engaging on social media, so definitely feel free to hit me up, chime in.
And anybody here that's listening again or watching the video, we really appreciate you guys for the support. This is the North American Weed Tour. These are two of our media partners and rolling paper partners, helping us reach more people, educate, spread the education, spread the love, the wealth. We want to be getting people into this world of legal cannabis as business owners. We want, obviously, more inclusivity. We want to be able to spread the wealth and help more people get in the space. Brianna, I really appreciate you sharing knowledge today about PR and things like that, helping us, editing my work and stuff. As I mentioned, I had only ever taken one college class, and I wanted to share this with you too. We got our first PR client in the cannabis space recently because you helped us give us the confidence just with, approving that one and giving some feedback. And writing writing another press release. We've now done 2 for them in the last 2 months, and we just ran it through PR Newswire. We got 25 placements.
Awesome. That's good shit.
Right. We were I was so excited. And so it's just like, for me, to be real, I have been trying to do things like this for so long, and we've done it here and there. I just never really had that validation. And so for you, not to say you're my mentor, but in the smallest way, you did that. And I very much appreciate you for your help. So thank you.
Anyway, I'm here for that.
I will always be down to support you guys. I really appreciate you guys being on the show today. This is Jay Ping here, respectmyregion.com. This is episode 2 of the North American Weed Tour featuring OMS Organics and Swain Publishing. Thank you guys for being on the show. I'll see you all soon. Love y'all.
Yes. Love, man.
Love you too. Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace.